my mic is muted. Apparently, we don't have the technology down. The very fact, though, that we are going live from my living room here, as you can see, we've got the Doobie is in the house. Mary Jane Baker is here. For those of you who tuned in last time, she was not here. It was just me. And a bunch of people somehow felt that it was cool to just listen to me blabber on and chat about things. And now we're going to hear some of that. But from Mary Jane's point of view, look at you can see the teacups. Got a nice teacup collection on the side. And this is my favorite piece of art right there. I love that. Anyways, we're going to be waiting for a few people to come in here because currently we have 0, at least what we can see. But some of you will be watching this later. So
why don't, since you had last episode to do all of the talking, why don't I just take this moment to apologize to everybody who was here last time that I wasn't actually able to make it because I had a stomach issue with some anxiety. That's part of why I use cannabis. I suffer with IBS. And I just want to say I'm sorry. I'm sorry I wasn't there. So
it seems genuine. We'll be right back.
Thanks.
Hi, I'm Timmy.
And I'm Mary Jane. He's the newbie.
She's the Doobie, and this is the show
where we
tote
cannabis.
Talk.
From both sides.
Is that even possible?
I still love that video clip. If you haven't seen that video clip, we will show it again at the end of this live just because I love it so much. But you'll want to go down on our on Facebook and YouTube. It is currently up on our Facebook. Is it a wall, a feed? It's on there at the Newbie and the Doobie, and
it's on Instagram as well.
Was it on? Yeah, it's on Instagram too.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. I always forget about Instagram because we can't go live yet, at least through the broadcast system. Right now we're live on YouTube, on Facebook, and on Twitch, believe it or not.
All at the same time.
Yeah, but Instagram, we're not allowed to do that yet. So if you are an Instagram follower and you've come over to one of these, we will do some lives on Instagram, but we can never do them as part of this giant conglomeration of lives. Like this way we can go live once for almost all.
Yeah.
So hopefully, if you have Instagram, you have one of those other platforms, you can join us. So
it's kind of like the Musketeers, all for one and one for all. No?
Yes.
Yes.
So the 3 Musketeers are YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch.
I guess so.
And Instagram is like the poor pauper out in the field. The 3 Musketeers are running around, killing it in the world, and Instagram's like, "Can we come?" It's like, no, not yet, Instagram. But anyways, we appreciate our Instagram followers. For the people that are in the house right now, we cannot see who shows up in the house unless you comment. So we can see that there is, I can't tell if that's a 3 or if that's a 900. It could be one or the other.
I keep telling Timmy he needs to get his eyes checked, but
yeah, it's probably it's just jumped up now. I think it jumps up. I think the numbers of eyes watching us are in the thousands. So
that's how long we've been on, Timmy.
Oh, we've been on for 4 minutes. So if you want us to know that you are there, comment. Roy is in the house. Excellent. We appreciate that. We love Roy. Roy is our resident 1,000-degree black belt, and he is mentally from a distance constantly training me in the ways of shiatsu, shikado,
Shidokan.
Yeah.
Shiatsu.
Yeah. Sometimes, look, I'm gonna admit my psychic abilities have failed, and I haven't been able to pick up all the messages Roy is sending me. But I am getting much more smooth in my karate, but we miss Roy immensely. So if you do want to let us know, Mary Jane, get out.
Hey,
Wait. Do you know another Mary Jane Baker?
I actually one time on Facebook made it a point to go out and friend every single Mary Jane Baker there was, because
Oh man.
I mean, if you're cool enough to have a name like Mary Jane Baker, you got to be my friend. So yeah.
Wow. So there are literally okay. The chances of 2 Mary Jane Bakers is rare. So this already is alive, worth your time and energy right now. There is only one Timmy though. So if somebody was to show up and put another Timmy Boyle is in the house, that would blow my mind. So listen, we want to thank you for tuning in. Those that are coming in and those that will watch this later on.
Yeah. Pre 420.
Pre-420.
Or post 420, I guess, whenever you watch it. But the show is taking place pre 420.
Yeah, we're super excited. We wanted to take a time today as kind of our last live before the launch. The official launch is going to be on 420, so it's Tuesday. So we are 3 days away? 2 days away. 2 days away, and we're very excited about this podcast. And I shared a lot on the last live about my growing up in the church, and I, as a non-consumer, we just really believe that, because we've had lots of conversations with me being the newbie, she being the doobie, which, by the way, don't you love the name, the newbie and the doobie? I think it's an amazing name. You're very proud of it, aren't you?
I am very proud of it.
We're very proud of it. We've gotten lots of compliments on the name and the branding. And so if you can follow us on our Instagrams and our Facebooks and we only have one, but anyways, and YouTube, all those things, spread the word, let people know the professional production that has come along to partner with us behind us. If you've seen the intro video and just the promo shots that have been taken, the podcast looks and sounds amazing. So we want to put a huge shout out to Authentic Video Group because they have really kind of helped us. And some people are surprised actually that we're getting this sense that people think we have somehow been like discovered. And
yeah, like we got this really awesome gig doing this like cool podcast. And I mean, thank you.
Yeah, we appreciate that people think that. But this is our own creation. It's not like people found us and said, "Hey, let's create this podcast," and and now all of a sudden the vault's been open and we're getting paid all this money.
Does that even happen anymore? Where people say, "I want this person for this"?
Oh yeah, yeah.
I guess we're just not that level.
We haven't been discovered yet, but hopefully through this podcast, the newbie and the doobie, Timmy Boyle, Mary Jane Baker, more people will find out about who we are, and this was just a vehicle to do it. So, contrary to popular belief, we are not raking in the dough. We are investing in this yet. Exactly. We are investing in this. And actually, we have a Patreon page. If you're familiar with Patreon, it's just basically a monthly subscription service that will allow us. We need 420 patrons to help us cover just the costs to produce it at the level that we want it to be produced. And if you've seen the intro video, and on 420, you'll see the first episode. And I hope you'll look at the quality of it and say, that's awesome. And it would be great if they could continue to produce it at that level. That's what we need right now. So if you go to the newbie and the doobie.ca, that goes to our Patreon account, and you can subscribe there for only $4.20 a month right now. Just helps us cover the costs and shows that you support us. It's not a lot, and you can cancel anytime. And then in the future, we're going to add more value if people want to invest more. But we really didn't want to start adding extra levels before the podcast had even been launched. But if you do want to start supporting us and helping us in this, it is a creation out of our own minds, and we're just hoping that it catches on and we're able to maybe continue to do this going forward because we believe the topic is important.
Well, and I really, as much as I was nervous about being in the studio, I really like the studio, and I'd like to be able to get back there once we're able to get back there. So help us get back there.
We recorded 4 episodes. And by the way, I do want to shout out from West Tennessee.
Oh, wow.
Right? We are international, folks. International. Hello to Monica from Timmy and MJ up here in Canada. We are based in Canada, but we have actually seen our Facebook page is over 700 followers right now. We're hoping to get to 1,000 by the launch.
Yeah, that's the goal.
So it's getting down to crunch time. So if you can share our Facebook page and let people know that would be great. But one of the biggest cities in the States, or the biggest state that is watching us, what would you think it would be? You know the answer, but what would you would think? If you're thinking cannabis.
He's so cute. You know the answer. Yeah, he told me the answer. I don't remember the answer. So this guess is as good as whatever. I would have guessed one of the bigger legalized states, like, Colorado or
California,
Vegas, or LA.
Right. So the number one state that is currently leading in terms of people there who are following our Facebook page is Oklahoma. No, seriously, Oklahoma. Yes.
Okay, interesting.
So if you're from Oklahoma, we want to hear from you because we were blown away by that. And we have a follower from Ghana.
We do.
We have a follower from Ghana. So if you can help us get to our 1,000 followers, and you can go to the Newbie and the Doobie.ca and maybe come on early and start to help us cover the costs of producing these. We don't know when we get back in the studio. We're just hoping. We're hoping
it's opening.
that Ontario is opening. It's opening. So that
see what quarantine is doing.
Right, it's just crazy. But at least we got 4 episodes already done. So we have a month of stuff that's going to go out there, and we will pick up our social media presence in that time as well. So hey, we have from Michigan.
Hey,
so Tom, welcome from Michigan. Suzanne from California. Wait a minute.
No, this was her guess.
Oh, this was her guess, because I'm like,
and it was a good guess.
It was a very good guess. Because I'm like, I don't think Suzanne's from California. I think people are literally making up where they're from now just to pretend that they're American. But okay, it was a guess. I get that. But you were wrong, Suzanne. But Suzanne, thanks for tuning in. So anyways, the point of this time, we're not going to keep you long because we know everybody's super busy in quarantine. But we did want to say that the first episode launches in a couple days on all of your favorite podcatchers, and so be aware of that.
On all your favorite what?
Podcatchers. That's what they're called.
That's what they're called? Podcatchers?
Yeah, like iTunes and Spotify. They're called podcatchers. I don't know. I read that yesterday, so that's the term. Your podcast streaming services might be what it's called. Anyways, all of our information is below on this little ticker, which I created, which I'm very fond of.
So I'm confused. What are we doing today on this live?
Today, the purpose of the live was to say hello again, to reconfirm that we are launching in a couple days, and to let MJ talk about her, I guess, the reason why you're excited about the podcast.
Yeah.
The reason why you wanted to start the podcast. Awesome. I wanted people, because they heard from me, and I just want them to hear from you, and I want you to talk about the podcast from your point of view of why you feel it's important, why we're starting it, that type of thing.
Okay. Well, it's funny. I said to Timmy just before, I was like, wait, what are we doing? Because I'm confused. He's like, I told you, we went through this. So I'm just going to start from the beginning. I'm going to wing it, even though
I'm just going to lean back and drink my smoothie.
Oh, if you lean back here, I'll lean forward. I feel like I need a booster seat for this couch. It's one of those couches. I don't know if you have a piece of furniture in your house that's like this, but you literally, if you have to sit on it just right, or else it like swallows you.
Can I just?
But it's the most comfortable couch.
Can I just say the reason why it swallows you? Let me just say this before she explains about the Newbie and the Doobie. Remember when the Blue Jays were back in the playoffs back in like 2015? And, Batista had the bat flip, and I was so excited. It had been like years, and as a huge Blue Jay fan, it was amazing. I was sitting on the couch, and I don't remember who it was. Somebody got a hit late in one of those playoff games, and I pushed off in excitement and jumped up, and I snapped the middle beam. Yeah, Yoga shoulders, folks. Yoga shoulders. I literally snapped the middle of my couch because I was so excited. And that was why. So that is why currently it sinks in the middle. So
and this is the first time I'm hearing this story because I would have flipped the couch over and had that fixed by now.
Yeah. So if I told her, so now next time we come on the live in this particular spot, the couch will probably be fixed. So I will now sit back and
get sunk in the couch.
Yeah. And once again.
Okay. So 420 is a special holiday for most cannabis consumers. Myself especially, because it's also the day that I celebrate my dad's birthday, because it was the day he was born. That's generally when people celebrate birthdays. But my dad is also a cannabis consumer, and as such, it's always been like a family tradition, if you will, to celebrate 420. And cannabis being such a huge part of my life and using it medicinally and wanting to, as a child, be a teacher, it just sort of made sense to grow up and want to teach others about what is helping me with my journey, we'll say, in life. So I'm super excited, especially for this 420, because this 420, we're going to be launching the podcast. Won't be able to go anywhere or do anything.
But why do you feel that it's important? I'm going to come into interview mode. Why do you feel it's important that we are doing a podcast with a newbie and a doobie? Why do you feel that what we can bring to the table is going to be important? And I think I've expressed why I think it is, but why do you feel that the newbie and the doobie podcast can have a voice maybe that others don't have, and why it's important?
Okay, so cannabis is such a taboo thing. And I mean, I'm pro-cannabis, so I could sit here and talk pro-cannabis all day long. However, if I talk to other cannabis consumers, they're generally pro-cannabis as well. And we're talking about, we're educating each other, and I'm not saying it's a negative. However, when you have somebody such as a non-consumer, you have somebody that has a different aspect or view on it and can ask questions that a pro person wouldn't generally think to ask.
Mm-hmm.
So I also enjoy talking to a non-consumer, because if you have any fears or questions about, if for example, if I use this cannabis lotion, am I going to get high? The answer is no.
Oh,
but there are a lot of like fear with that stuff, and I would like to be able to be that ear for people,
mm-hmm.
because sometimes they don't know where to turn, and just to create a safe space where everybody can come and discuss cannabis, whether you're pro or against, and hopefully we can just have a discussion and educate people.
I think that's what the core of it is, that we just want to have the conversation, and that having the two of us in it provides something what is probably pretty rare in the space, and being able to talk about it from both sides, which is what the podcast is about. We've already received actually some feedback as people have been finding out about it and have been coming over to like the Facebook page. We've already talked to a bunch of people who they're non-consumers, but they have family that use it, or they have used it and then they've stopped, or they're completely against it, and have all these fears. But in most cases, it's because they have a connection with me as they've been fans of me as a performer, and they're coming on anyways, but despite their fears.
Well, it is because it's not really been a talked about thing, unless it's been a negative thing for years since Prohibition started in 1917. However, now doctors are prescribing it a lot more, CBD, stuff like that, to older people, for your pets, for all sorts of ailments, and they're not really giving out the information that people need to understand what it is that they're actually being given. So we would just like to create a space for people, all people, consumers, non-consumers, to just, like Timmy said, start the conversation.
And I think, like I had mentioned last time, the show will be, it's going to be a pro cannabis. It's not a two-sided thing where one side's going to smash it and one side's going to, praise it. It is coming from the side of wanting to have a what we hope to be a fruitful, positive conversation where I'll bring stuff into the mix that isn't normally done. So if you have fears about it, if you're completely against it, I would just encourage you to download the first episode. Tell your friends, download the first episode. We hope that we can become a podcast within this space that is very unique in the sense that we would have an audience that would be based of, maybe 50-50 would be amazing, but I don't know, an audience though that is non-consuming and consuming, which I would bet most cannabis podcasts don't have. No. And I think that's what, not that's why our show now becomes the best cannabis show in the world, but it does provide us we're probably on that way. That's definitely, it's our goal if we were to have a goal. But I don't want it to be seen just as like a cannabis podcast. I just want it to be seen as a really good, kind of the way I perceive comedy. Mm-hmm. I perform clean comedy, but I don't want to necessarily be always announced as a clean comic. I just want to be known as a good comic.
As a funny guy.
That happens to be a clean comic. And I think with this podcast, we want to be known as putting together a great podcast that just happens to discuss cannabis. And so that's really what we want to do. I
would just like to add, if you are watching this and you have any fears or you have any questions and you don't know where to turn, we also have an email that is on our website. Is it not there?
An email? Yeah.
Please send us a message. You can do it anonymously. Open up a Google account just to send us whatever message you want to send us. We will not announce you at all. If you want us to answer your question on air, we can do that as well. But like I said, we won't name you. I just want to help people.
Yeah, send questions. It's the newbie and the doobie at gmail.com. I'm just in the comment box here, just so you know, we're still on, just in case MJ panics. The camera is still showing us right now. But just while I'm finding something here, can you tell them about just the feeling of actually going in and having our first podcast?
Oh my God, which part?
Just your initial.
Okay, so Timmy says we're going to record 4 episodes in one day. And I'm like, how are we going to do that? He says, easy, we'll just do it back to back to back. And I was like, yeah, but we're releasing them one every week, which means I can't wear the same thing every episode because now I'm going to be dressed the same every single week. That's not happening. So it was a challenge to coordinate outfits and makeup and hair and of course being a guy.
I wear black t-shirts and jeans and wool socks, and I do this with my hair. Yeah. And then I brush my teeth regularly, like most people.
And I match my makeup to my clothing. And I match my clothing to my guests.
Imagine if I matched my makeup to my clothing.
I've tried. You won't let me put it on.
Or black mascara.
I've been obsessed with RuPaul's Drag Race for the past year. That's all I've done in quarantine. And I'm like, please.
Well, we'll see. You'll see in the comments, I have put our link tree thing in there. Now you can find all of our links on any of the social media platforms. So go on there, and if you can like us on all the platforms, but the most important ones are to subscribe on YouTube, because that's where the podcast will be launched in its full video form weekly. So you want to subscribe to the Newbie and the Doobie on YouTube. The second most important one, I think, is probably, I would put the Patreon out there, because, any support you could do financially to help us do this. And if you believe in the vision of what we're doing, then go over to that. But all of our links are in that link that we've just put in the comment box. You can click on that and everything is there. It has our email address. It has all of our social media links. Go on there, click on them all, like and share the ones that you want. But definitely go to YouTube. We'd encourage you for sure to go to YouTube today, because when it gets launched on Tuesday at 4:20, you'll want to make sure that you get that notification. I think you have to ring the bell too to make sure they send you an email. Do whatever you need to do, because that episode is important.
You said Tuesday at 4:20. Do you mean it's just because Tuesday is 4:20? It's like we don't have to wait till 4:20 in the afternoon?
No, it will be. The video will go up.
I'm going to be busy at 4:20.
Yeah, the video in the morning will go up on Tuesday. So make sure you go to YouTube and subscribe there. And we will create notifications on our Facebook and link or our Instagram and all those things, and Twitter. We're so bad at social media, so you really want to make sure that you follow on YouTube. We're trying to get better, though.
Yeah, YouTube is where the podcasts are going to be, and we try and keep everything else up and current. And I feel like an old person even saying this. I used to make fun of my dad for when he came home and said, I have to check emails at work now. And I laughed at him because I was like, Dad, emails are easy. Really? And now I'm like, I walk into my kids' room, I'm like, what is this? What is this? How do I, who invented the invisible scroll bar on the side? Every time I find it, it disappears.
Yeah, we're both over 20, so we're trying to figure this out, which is why we're glad we have experts filming this. No, we don't have experts filming this.
No, which is why we were muted at the beginning.
Right. Yeah, that was my fault. So as we're going to get ready to wrap up this, so you guys can go do your Sunday afternoon thing or wherever you're watching this.
It's nice outside.
But I thought, did we have anything else we wanted to say? Why do I feel like there was something? I think we've shared everything that we wanted to do today.
Oh, I would like to share a little side bit for me. Can I talk a bit about voting?
Voting.
Did you forget? So I set in some photos.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So yeah, this is okay. So she's doing a personal plug.
It is a personal plug.
I didn't realize that we were doing our personal
That's
plugs.
why I said, can I do this?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead. Why not?
So also on 420, another reason why I'm super stoked is I am trying out. I don't know, is that a thing? Trying out?
Yeah, you've submitted an audition, I guess.
I've submitted some photos to be Maxim's Cover Girl 2021.
Woo-hoo.
Yes, and voting takes place 420. That's when it starts. And I think you can vote daily. And of course, I'll be posting that link as well. But yeah, if you could help me win that prize, there is a cash prize, and that would go a long way to help us with studio time too.
There you go. And I have also submitted pictures to be a Maxim Cover Girl. So we'll see what happens.
Oh, the competition's fierce.
Right. So you want to follow Mary Jane Baker on social media as well. Those links as well are all connected somewhere throughout our social media web of things. So thank you, those who've tuned in. I see a few of you had commented and said hello. We appreciate everybody who has come in today, and we know that others will come in later on. So go enjoy your day. Be sure and download, like I said, on podcatchers and streaming services. That will happen. That will happen on Tuesday. But go subscribe on YouTube. Everything is the Newbie and the Doobie. If you type in the Newbie and the Doobie, you're going to eventually come across stuff that we're doing. We were smart enough to nail all that down nice and early.
Yes. And don't forget, stay lifted.
And keep on laughing. And can I just say this because it came in last minute? We really need.
I seen that too, and I was like, I'm gonna get out quick.
No, you couldn't get out. No, she tried to end it before I noticed, but I noticed.
We were just talking about my sexy legs, Suzanne.
Yeah, but it's my yes. We all know that my legs are pretty.
Okay, a personal plug.
Yoga
if you
legs.
have not seen Timmy Boyle's Instagram page, is that where your 80s yoga legs are? Is that where your sexy legs are?
I think you can find my yoga legs anywhere, but yeah, check out Instagram. There's some good photos in there. I should probably post some more. And we have a really nice surprise on the first episode where you can really see my legs. So Suzanne and others, that's probably a reason to watch. So there we go. Do we need to sign off a second time or?
No, we're good. I'm good to go. It's 420 somewhere.
We gotta go. Goodbye, everybody.
Hi, I'm Timmy.
And I'm Mary Jane. He's the newbie,
She's the Doobie, and this is the show
where
we
tote cannabis
talk.
from both sides.
Is that even possible?